Access code followed by the pound or hash sign. Please announce yourself.
Okay. Matthew Little.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's happening? Good.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. So, everybody, I think we have everybody on. Matt's obviously just checked that. Abby's there. Gary's here. Ken's here. So, Matt, we just want to take some time to talk to you about some stuff going on with your participation in Bali, your membership, and so forth. So, last week, I'm just going to get right to it.
Okay.
Last week, you sent a text to Abby. That was, to say it politely, a little off color. And it's concerning to us as a board when we see something like this. Do you have any recollection of the text?
I mean, I can go back and look. I mean, it must have been something in a joking manner, but obviously that wasn't, text probably also wasn't good format, but I'll have to go look at exactly what it was. I'm sorry if I offended, Abby, I'm sorry if I offended you. I didn't realize that.
I want to read this text to you.
Okay.
I guess you guys are talking about trying to get her some business, and you were working with a lawyer.
Yeah.
The lawyer is
it was the Jewish
thing.
Thing.
To do it himself. I mean, he's one of your people. If I'm profiling you correctly,
it was a joke. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Yeah, it's
chosen people know how to save money.
That wasn't supposed to.
Their invoices. It's big mouth Italians that like to play. Let's make a deal based on my experience.
So yeah, guys, I'm sorry if I didn't mean it in a way especially if I was saying it to a person like it meant to be in a joking manner. I didn't mean that in a mean way. I mean, so I apologize that I offended you. I didn't mean to. It wasn't meant in a mean way. I think you probably know that, but that still doesn't change that.
Well, that's the problem. Abby doesn't know you. She only knows you for a couple months. She doesn't know that, and it's whether it be Abby or anybody else, you can't do that. To people that you don't. It's one thing. You can't do that in business because people get offended by everything, and honestly, when I read that, I was like, whoa. I mean, that was, you can't say those things because not only are we worried about, the repercussions on the person on the other end and how they take it, because you don't know how they're going to react, but at the same time, we wonder if this is the way that you're communicating with other people that you're doing business with, that could really reflect terribly against, somebody that we referred you to, and it could, kill our business. So
Roger
there's
that.
a multitude of issues with it that it's not like you know her for 20 years or...
I know. I absolutely see what you're saying. I didn't even... I hadn't even established a relationship where there was, inappropriate jokes in a joking manner, so that was even stupid to even think that would have been, it was an assumption that was stupid. I agree with you guys. I didn't mean it offensively, but I understand what you're saying, and
Matt, that makes it very hard for us, being the representatives of 30-plus people in the group, to have someone that, what if it wasn't Abby? What if it was someone else in the group that came to us? We have the responsibility now of dealing with that.
Right.
And,
So
our initial reaction, and I'm going to be honest, our initial reaction right now is some severe repercussions, regardless if it was a joke or not. In this day and age, and most of us have been in business now for 30 years. to have something like that come back and for me to read it, and that's the first thing when I get back from vacation, I got to deal with the group to read that.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
My initial reaction was, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I didn't mean that as a joke, and I don't even. You're right. You guys are right about we don't. Yeah. No, I understand if you need to deal with it.
So Matt, I want you to understand. Because it was said to me, Matt, I just want you, I want you to understand where we're coming from, okay? You don't know me well enough to know whether or not that was going to be received well, okay?
You're
You're
right.
actually kind of lucky that it was me and not that you said it to somebody else and it came back as a report, as a formal complaint to us. Because, for me, people who know me well enough know what they can say, know what they can't say, that's going to be acceptable to me. We're looking at this as a moment where, we really need you to understand that until you establish, we talked about this a little bit yesterday in our text about, the training itself, right? You just don't know what is going to set somebody off. And to make a comment like that to somebody that you really have not established that type of rapport with is really, really not okay in a business setting. So whether or not I was personally offended by it, I don't care. It's really concerning to us as a board, that if this is how you're establishing business relationships, that's concerning, because the last thing we need is for somebody to come back to us and say, hey, who did you send to me? Because this guy thinks he's my best friend.
Yeah, no, I understand you. It probably was maybe less offended going, but more of concern, oh, damn it, this idiot, he doesn't know if I'm gonna, get angry at this, and this could have been someone else. That probably was you might have been less on the offended side, more of the worried about if this wasn't me kind of thing. And I understand that you're.
Because that could destroy a business relationship. If we refer you out to somebody and you're talking like that to a potential client or new client, that could destroy our business relationship, and let alone being something more of a human resource issue. So that there's multiple concerns, not only with, what was said, but how, is that how you talk to potentially other clients that you don't know either? And that's our concern, is that
that makes sense. No,
in today's day and age, we usually in a regular setting, and Abby could attest to this more than anything else in human resources, I mean, people get fired over that stuff, I think. Abby, is that correct?
No, you're right. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
what I'm saying, Matt. If you said this to anybody but me, right? Forget that I'm on the board. If you said this to another member who reported it to us as a board, we would have to look at this very, very,
well, you have to just get rid of me, bottom line.
Yeah. As a complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
And so that, so the fact that you did say it to me, is, it really works well, because I'm looking at this as a moment to, it's a learning opportunity here, for not just for us, for the board, for the group, for just in business in general, we appreciate that you are, you're a young guy, you're starting your business, and you have a lot of years ahead of you. This is an opportunity to really take a look and say, how am I establishing my business relationship,
No, I understand. I presented myself as a liability by doing that, and it was stupid to make that assumption, and especially when I didn't think about how not only the perception of it, but then also the angle of, wait a second, does he do this all the time with everybody, and is this going to... Yeah, I absolutely makes sense. And I should obviously... I know better. I can't... You don't have to describe to me, the climate or how people get fired of that. I can't plead ignorance on that. I understand that, people have even said things, and it wasn't out of a joke. Maybe they were saying things completely fine, but they used a word, and just because of that, they were out, because it's we can't let anybody see this as being okay, so we have to deal with it. Roger that. No, I understand. And
that,
I put you guys in a position.
I know you get it. Like
yeah.
we had conversations yesterday. We were talking about your clients and how like they I know that you get it. We just really need to make sure that that you're looking kind of inward at yourself as well, because I know that you understand it. We talked about it. So.
And it's we have a lot of jokesters in the group, and we get sometimes you think things are funny and so forth, but it's even on the crew app, and this has really nothing to do with today, but the jokes have to stop. Like the video clips have to stop. Like that's not what this is for. And we get complaints about that often. You would think we don't, but we do, because people don't want their phones blown up and stuff like that. So just, you have to keep that in mind. We as a board had a really long talk about this, because we were really concerned and we wanted to get, talk to you about it, because obviously you're getting this back to you and getting your input on this was important to us. Saying that, and as Ken had mentioned earlier, we do have to take some sort of action on this, okay? So collectively, we feel that we're going to impose a 1-month suspension on your membership.
Okay.
Okay. Effective this week, and I will check with the calendar and see, and we're going to send you this up in writing as well via an email. And I have to check, but I'm not sure if we agreed on the June 26th or the week after 4th of July that you would return. So I'll check that, and we're going to send that to you in writing as well. But feel that that's warranted. And you have to realize, too, that we were really on the fence with just completely saying, hey, you know what, does he even belong being a member? But I think that you're kind of stepping up and realizing what you did wasn't right, and that's a big part of our decision as well.
And that's something, too, is that, there's a liability to us where if we don't do something and then this happens and somebody else really reacts, it's not Abby, it's somebody else in the group, and, and they decide to pursue it or something.
Yeah.
We're liable because we didn't even, do anything about it.
We just
swept under the rug.
Can I?
So, right.
Is it?
That's our biggest dilemma, Matt. As I said, we have 30 people that we're responsible, that they've entrusted us as a board to look out for them, and they're multiple races, religions, whatever whatever it is, and whatever your beliefs are. Personally, I don't care, but we have 30 people in the group that we have to protect. That if you're going to refer business, if they're going to refer business to you, and an off-color comment like that is put out there, and someone comes to us, and it's happened multiple times, and we haven't addressed it or done anything about it, that is a slap in the face to us. So it's like that, or sexual harassment, or anything like that. These things have to be taken seriously and dealt with, because people are liable if they don't address those issues, especially when somebody has brought it up that it is a potential issue. So that's the that has to be paramount, is the integrity of the group and the protection of everybody, and we obviously want everyone to prosper and do well, but we also want them to be in a safe environment that they don't feel offended by somebody, or even if it's in jest or whatever. You just have to be careful in today's day. You know that.
And correct me if I'm wrong too. This is probably another thing I didn't even think about. In addition, is you have to address this formally and on paper, because this isn't just a group of people. It's an actual entity and non-for-profit. You have to document that you addressed it, or else it looks like you guys were complacent and it's okay. And I didn't think of you have to do this also in a formal capacity to cover your ass, or kick me out. It's the only way to make it that you've dealt with it and documented that you dealt with it to show that it's not acceptable. I understand.
Well, no, not really. I mean, yes, but no. We're doing this because forget that
Well, that's part of it.
This isn't acceptable to us.
We make
Like,
people
it's
uncomfortable.
It's
Yeah.
inappropriate.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's
we're
stupid.
not doing this just because we have to put it down as a formality.
Oh
Absolutely.
no! I was wrong too. No, I'm saying also in addition, it's like you can't just give me a talking. You have to put this in writing and send a letter because this has to be dealt with in that type of way. Because I'm saying, you can't just say, hey, sit out. You're out. You made this is a problem. This has to be dealt with just like as if it was a company too. That's what I was trying to say. Not saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that like
It will.
yeah,
So Matt,
lightly.
It will, and I think Nick mentioned we will. A letter will be sent to you to kind of codify what we've talked about. But something else that's important is we need to explain to the group where you are for the next several weeks. So without detail, because nobody needs to know. Without detail, we're just going to have to let everybody know that there was a disciplinary suspension imposed for inappropriate conduct, and we'll kind of leave it at that. But we will also be sure to say that you accepted accountability, because that's really important, and that's something that we always look at, right? If somebody, you're not saying, I was kidding, screw you guys. You're saying, I understand what I did was not the right thing to do, and like Nick said before, that goes a long way. So we will make sure that is understood as well. But we do have to let the group know, because it's an opportunity to correct any future behaviors from anybody else as well.
Well, that's true too. If you don't address it, then you have to deal. This will make anybody else go, oh, maybe I should not. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody have anything else? We're good?
Do you have any other questions, Matt?
I mean, not really. And you guys did. I understand, absolutely how, I created a problem, so, and I can't disagree with you guys on that that was, obviously, that was stupid. So, no, I don't think I have any questions. I understand.
Right, listen, we want to see you do well. We don't want this to be a hinder to you. We hope it's a good teaching moment, not only just for here, but for your life and the way you talk to your future businesses and so forth. And I think that's, one of the things that I've noticed that's come out of this group, and even before this group and the other groups we were with, is that we somehow wound up coaching a lot of people, and that's not even the intention of it, but, they look at us for certain advice, and we've seen them become very successful. Myself included, and that's just because we're a sounding board, and that's what we want to do with each other, and we hope he takes something positive away from this.
It's better to learn here than lose a sale in real life, and so that's something that we can all grow together on that. And as Nick said, and Ken and Abby and myself, we've all learned a lot, about business and and groups and presentations and all that stuff over the years through this. So it's definitely a valuable source because you're among friends. So that's, rather to make a mistake in front of here than an actual business decision where there could be, severe ramifications or a sale at a loss or whatever the case might be.
That's true. I just want to say, Paramount is. I know you guys won't be dealing with this phone call on a Tuesday morning. You all have things to do. This is kind of BS that shouldn't ever had to have happened that you had to deal with. So sorry that you guys now have another thing that you had to add to your list of to-dos. Apologize for that.
Okay. All right, so we'll send you that email today, and then we'll put the date in there, and so forth, and we'll take it from there.
All right, sounds good. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Matt.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
At least I get off on Wednesday mornings for a month.